And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? My name is Rex, and this is your Daily Chat, Season 2, Episode 99. That's right, we're almost at 100, despite the fact we should probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 150. We're almost about to hit 100. We're getting there, Billy. And it's still going to be a momentous occasion tomorrow when I actually hit that number finally. Because, well, we still haven't missed a day. We still have not missed a single day of streaming. We've only missed a few daily chats, but hey, slow news days are slow news days. Not much I can do about that. Tell the world to be more interesting. But how are you guys doing out there? What is happening? We streamed Vice City earlier today. For those of you who tune in to my channel, just regardless of what I'm doing, you know that we've been maybe not consecutively, like stream by stream, but we've been slowly doing a GTA series playthrough of GTA 3, Vice City, 4, 5, because I've never done 4 or 5. So we're slowly working our way through it, and I've been having a blast. It took us a little bit longer than I anticipated to work through GTA 3, but I gotta tell you, we finished it yesterday. That was just awesome. Sup, had a super bad day. How's yours? My day's going pretty good, man, but we'll get to you in a sec. So, yeah, we're just slowly working our way through it. It took like 6 hours, took pretty much 2 streams, maybe 1.5 streams to work through the final mission on GTA 3, but we got it as a collective on our first try. That's right, it's a 7.5 hour mission. We got through it on our first try. No one's gonna tell me anything otherwise. And we beat it. And then we moved right into Vice City, and we're already making good headway through that. It's a fun game. I'm enjoying the crap out of it, and I cannot wait to get back to it, which we will probably do tomorrow. Now, Powervids, why did you have a bad day, man? That reaction after you did it was priceless. I don't know what you're talking about. I had a very composed and normal reaction for somebody who's so amazing that they do everything on the first shot. And no one here is going to tell me otherwise. It was a trial. I don't know what was better, my reaction to completing it or that one where I blew myself up at the end. Like, literally, the last bullet to be fired, I killed myself. It was a thing. And if you want, you can still check the Mixer or Twitch archives. I delete the YouTube archive every day. Not because of anything else other than I just don't want to pollute my channel with a whole bunch of video game streams. I want it to stay the way it is. So, that's why I delete the ones off YouTube. I keep all the other ones, so you can always go check it out there. So, outside of that, really, there's been a bunch of like rigmarole kind of stuff going on. Of course, in the news is always something Donald Trump related. I can't tell you guys. I can't tell you how much I don't care anymore. Every day I wake up, every day I hear something about Donald Trump, and I just can't tell you how much I don't care. It's like the guy is insane. He's like an older, fatter, older Kim Jong-un. He's just a potato and a half. But whatever. We're going to move off of that. Yeah, for those type of things, you can go to Philip DeFranco show. He covers it all in pretty good detail. For those people who have been tuning in on YouTube, guys, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the support on the YouTube live streams lately. That is proving to be one of my fastest growing platforms. So thank you. Last night, YouTube put out, what do we have? I think YouTube did 5 times the viewership, like people that came through the channel, 5 times Twitch and Mixer put together. Like, the numbers when I checked the graphs afterwards were insane. I was like, oh my god, that is bananas. So for those of you guys watching on YouTube Live, thank you. I love it. But yeah, I told a customer that the bakery part of the grocery store part I work at was closed and got yelled at by a manager because a fellow employee snitch. That the bakery part of the grocery. So I'm not. I don't get it. Why do you get in trouble for something being closed? Did you close it? Or like, well, I'm confused. Like, why did you get in trouble for just telling somebody shit's closed? I tell people stuff's closed all the time. And it's one of those things, if it's closed, it's closed. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm sorry, guys. I still don't know what's up with the video capture card. I'm looking into alternatives. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like them, but I am looking into alternatives. Let's talk about one thing coming up here really fast. Now, earlier, I don't know, I think it was at some South Korean StarCraft tournament game show. I don't know. I don't remember which one it was. The CEO of Blizzard, Mike Morhaime, unveiled that they are remastering StarCraft 1. Well, the release date for that has been announced, and the price has also been announced. It's going to cost $14.99 USD, and it's coming out worldwide on August 14th. It's going to have widescreen UHD support up to 4K resolution, new matchmaking and leaderboards, player profiles, track individual statistics, cloud saving for campaign progress, hotkeys and replays, higher fidelity music and sound, and the ability to switch between remastered and original StarCraft. Why do you keep freaking out? God, that's so annoying. Because we're supposed to put the customer first, even though I work at the deli. Okay. Still makes no sense to me why you got in trouble. But that's just me. Okay, it's cool. StarCraft 1, like, clearly StarCraft 2, for some reason, died in a horrible, horrible fire on Twitch TV. Like, if we go to Twitch right now, we can see, man, like, StarCraft 2 just absolutely fell off the face of the earth. Like, where is it? Here we go. StarCraft 2, at one time, this used to have well into the, like, 8,000 player viewer range. Now at 1,600. Behind Dead by Daylight, behind Smite, behind Gwent, for God's sakes. Like, good Lord Almighty, that is bananas. There used to be GSL tournaments and everything, and now it's just a gigantic pit of sadness. And yeah, I see why they did it. The Koreans and Chinese dominate SC2. They do, but how many tournaments do you see running on Twitch? Like, how many GSL, ESL, whatever the other ones are, ULA or whatever it was. I understand too. So what you gonna do? Put well guess time to release StarCraft 3. That's pretty much the way it is. They milked out, you know, the 3X packs for all they were worth. They're now re-releasing StarCraft 1. I don't know what they can hope to expect. And once again, at least they're not really gouging the consumer. $14.99, it's the same price as the Necromancer pack for Diablo 3, which came out last week. It's not a terrible price point. People can afford that. Although saying people can afford that literally the day the Steam sale ended is a little bit presumptuous of me, but you know what I mean, right? No one cares. It doesn't have the hype behind it. No interesting players or anything like that. Warcraft 3 would be a much better game. Remaster. No, if you're gonna make something like that, just make the next installment. Don't look. I get why remastering is done. Like, a lot of the stuff is there. It's a lot of updating, but the base code is probably like more or less the same. They've added in new features, but you know, they didn't have to rewrite the game from scratch. This is a time when you need to build a whole new game, whole new engines. The StarCraft 2 engine, when did Wings of Liberty come out? Wings of Liberty. StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty came out on July 27th, 2010. and that's running on the Havoc engine. I could have sworn Blizzard made their own engine, but I know they make their engine for a lot of stuff. Anyways, it's time to run stuff on a new engine, okay? With how much we grow in terms of technology, you have to keep pushing the bar at least once a decade. It's proven they're lazy with this remaster IMO. They're getting a little desperate since Overwatch isn't taking over the esports scene. You know what? Overwatch might not be dominating esports, but it's holding its own. Although I have noticed dips in Overwatch. If we see here, if we go back, and now mind you, it is 12 a.m. in the morning, but this is a good gist. Sitting at 27,000, this is the settle. This is the settlement spot for Overwatch numbers. It's always in the top 5, top 6, and it always hovers around the 15, 20, maybe 30,000 range. But this is where it is. And yeah, you're right. They thought it was gonna come up and dominate, like, you know, in this category here. They thought for sure it would hit top 3. And with Dota 2 just dying off, and it would appear to be overnight, it just died. Like 51,000 there must be a tournament running right now. Oh, look at that. Beyond the Summit, there's a tournament running right now. Because without that, it drops down to like 4,000 people now. They thought for sure Overwatch would be right here in top 3. And then you have Battlegrounds, which just came up and killed off H1Z1. And Overwatch just kind of settled into a very meh kind of category. It's not exactly, Overwatch Doomfist confirmed. That's great. How many people actually care about that, though? Like, you know what? The Overwatch lore is cool, but there's so much time in between story arcs that it's hard to stay invested in the Overwatch story. Yo, Turbo Brent, what's going on, man? People understand FPSs with all the flashy lights and extra stuff. Add the funny characters and some that fly around and people are lost. That's a way to look at it. I think they just thought that Overwatch was going to be the new golden child of esports in total. Not just for first person shooters, but I mean like in total. There was going to be nothing that beat Overwatch. Overwatch was going to become the number 1 spot. It was going to kill League of Legends, and if not kill it, it was going to at least put it in its place. And that's just not what happened. I think they just grossly overvalued the hype on this product. Was there hype? Absolutely there was hype. Oh my god, the Overwatch hype, it was just insane. But it has dumbed down now. You see a lot more videos of people just coming up with videos on the subreddit just showing how broken the game actually is. Did Mixer die? What the hell is going on over there? Like, did Mixer die, guys? Unknown error has occurred. Okay. That's really, really messed up. Okay, so Mixer's down. Can't tell you guys why that happened, but that happened. If you're on Mixer and you're watching, hey, just pop over to the Twitch channel, go over to the YouTube channel. You can chat with us there. The hype was insane for it. Yep, it was really fun for the first month or so. Then the hype wore off. Still a fun game, though, no doubt. It's still a fun game, but the thing is, it's just... Okay, I'm sorry. I got to turn off this chat thing. Oh my god, it's driving me insane. Disconnect. Perfect. Disconnect. There we go. Okay, sorry. That blinking was bothering the crap out of me. The hype for the game was awesome. I played it for months. I played it for basically 3 seasons, and I had a blast. And then the bugs really started to get to me Not as much as, you know, some of my European friends who got really shafted with like the bad servers and everything. But it died down, and I was on there today, and they're like, Reinhardt's charge is still broken, and they show him behind a McCree. McCree doesn't know he's there. He charges. McCree gets knocked forward, like flying when he should have been grabbed, and ends up killing Reinhardt. And it's like, things like that are the reason why people are frustrated with the game. Things like that are the reason why people are stopping playing the game. Because crap like that shouldn't be happening. Come again? Okay, well, we speak English, to Young. Just a heads up, we're an English channel, so if you want to speak English, you're more than welcome to. Other than that, we're probably not going to be talking to you because we don't know what you're saying. And I don't feel like running through Google Translate. So we have the remaster coming out. It's a thing. I don't know how big or hyped it's gonna be, but you know, it's gonna happen. And for $14.99, can't say it's exactly a bad price. You know, it's okay. $14.99, not gonna break the bank. Not exactly what I call a great investment. The triple thing meta kind of killed it for a lot of people. You know what, man? I never followed the meta. Never ever followed the meta, and honestly couldn't be bothered to ever follow the meta. Even when I did competition mode, I'd get so salty that I just would stop caring. Hang on. So what else is going on? The video, I know. I'm fully aware of it, guys. I've told you I can't fix it. Like, I'm trying to fix it. It's just there's a whole thing. Appears to be a problem to solve. Logitech webcam, what's causing? Do I have a Logitech webcam turned on? Okay. It looks to be like a Logitech cam issue, but I removed all webcam sources from OBS and the flickering stopped. And did not appear. Okay, well, I guess I'm guessing it's a USB PCIe based problem. I actually have to like really work at this. This is not a simple fix. It is a simple fix if I just decrease the resolution, but honestly, when you have a 1080p 60 FPS camera, I'm not downgrading that for anything. Simple as that. I like it. Yeah, I know. So it's that is what it is. What is our next story here? This is I was shocked when I saw this article come out. There's a game. It's The Sims for people who... No, I'm sorry, it's not the... Actually, is it The Sims? It's kind of The Sims. It's kind of The Sims. And that is the game Evil Genius. Evil Genius is coming out with Evil Genius 2 after 12 years. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this game. I haven't even seen this video yet, but let's see if they have a video of it. Because Evil Genius is a base building game where you create like your own evil lair, and you have to protect yourself against spies from grabbing your stuff and capturing you. And God, it was a fun game. Oh my God, my friend and I think we paid $14 for it way back in the day. And oh, we played the crap out of it. Oh, it was so good. I actually wonder if I could find it in my Steam. It should be in my Steam account details, shouldn't it? Purchase history. Where's my purchase history? Family settings. Oh, here we go. Views purchase history. Nice hair. What up, Soul Killer? Yeah, man, my hair is pretty my hair is pretty awesome. Let me see how far back my purchase history goes. Oh, here we go. So I bought Evil Genius. There we go. I bought Evil Genius in 2009. So I bought it when it was a new game, and I must have paid I paid $10 for it. There we go. I paid $10 for Evil Genius way back then, and it was worth every penny. This new version will not be free to play. So, hey, that's always good. Not another free to play game. Thank God. I'd rather actually just pay for my game and just have it be a one and done, as opposed to having to, you know, like pay for the game, microtransactions like crazy. And that's one of the actual things that's turning me off to an upcoming title from Epic Games called Fortnite. Fortnite is
I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
Annie Gross stole my shoe. Thank you for your follow. Fortnite is coming up by Epic Games, and it looks like a super rainbowy game with like tons of colors. Looks like it's a mix between Borderlands and some other stuff. It looks fun, but it's a fee to pay game where you pay for the game and there's microtransactions inside of it. And it's just like, that's kind of gross. Might leave soon getting tired. Power Biz, man, you do what you have to, man. That's feed to play, free to pay. I don't know, whatever the term Jim Sterling came up with, that's who I stole it from. So it is that, fee to pay, enunciate. I'm working on it, L. Steve. I'm working on it, buddy. So there's that. I'm glad. I don't know what they'd possibly do. Like, I'm sure now, you know, 12 years removed from the original title, you can add a whole bunch of new things. Laser grids, you know, acid baths, all this other stuff. Fee to pay. Thank you. Yeah, fee to pay. There you go. It's cool. I'm happy. I don't know. There's not much news on it. They just announced it. Hopefully we'll get a release date soon. Hopefully the price point will be somewhere in the neighborhood of where it used to be. It's going to be good. I'm excited for it. I'll probably play it. Might not play it on stream, but I will definitely be playing Evil Genius 2. And we'll just go from there. Now, show of hands in the chat channel, how many of you actually play League of Legends? Okay. Now, show of hands, how many of you actually follow geopolitics or geoeconomics? I did for a while. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad you follow that type of stuff because you actually need to. Because if you are a League of Legends player in the UK, you're about to pay 20% more money for their RP costs. Where I guess that's their like little internal pay fee structure for currency, by 20% thanks to Brexit. Because once again, this was not fully thought through when it was done. And now we're about to see a whole bunch of stuff come falling out of it. But whoa, hello. You are just like straight freaking out. UK League of Legends players are about to be hit with a price raise on the RP Riot points due to the UK's decision to leave the EU. Brexit has caused Riot to increase the cost of RP by 20% from July 25th, which is due to drop in the value of the British pound sterling since the decision to leave. So that is, it's a standard 20% increase. There's really not much here to talk about. The thing about this is, goddamn, that is so annoying. Like, stuff just loves breaking on me. There we go. Perfect. I don't think the Brexit thing was fully thought through. I really don't. There's so many things that we're going to see like this, where we're going to see price increases due to them not being part of the EU. You're going to have differences in shipping and customs and freight, CMN, and a whole bunch of other stuff that just, I don't know if people really thought the whole leaving the EU thing was a great idea. And they don't get the homie hook no more. No, man. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised that a lot more companies aren't going to be jacking up prices to kind of counterbalance this. Look, at the end of the day, if you're a company, your job is to make as much money as you can while you can. And frankly, if they're smart, companies should be just raking the UK over the coals. Britain should just be paying more for everything. Because since they want it to be elitist and independent and prove that they're better than everyone, that's fine. With that territory, you get to pay more than everyone too. Because to ship around the world is not cheap, whether it be by economics or by physical shipping, like fuel, insurance, structures. You have to build all that and ship it across the planet. You're opening yourself up to massive risk. So to send stuff around the world is hard, and when you're going to be isolated off, so therefore the entire order isn't being distributed across a big landscape, but rather by just this one by this one isolated nation, you're going to incur a much higher cost. Now, I don't know why Riot is doing this. Riot points literally don't cost anything. They're digital currency, but I'm sure they're trying to make up some reason for it. They're a bunch of drunk idiots, the majority anyway. That depends on what area of Britain you're talking about. Because most of the Brits I know never were really drunk, but when you get over into like the more slum area, yeah, they get pretty hammered. Right, as part of their way of. You know what, man? You can do whatever you want to the Brits, man. You go for it. No one's gonna blame you. Look, the British, and I've told this to people who are British, okay? The British are a time capsule of the most unprogressive, unevolved people in the world. Like, to get this level of archaic thinking, you have to go to a third world country like Africa. And even in Africa, I'm sure you'll find some people further progressed along than the Brits. The Brits have a tendency to think that everything they do is the best, everything they have is the best, everything everyone else has is garbage. That no one else produces anything good outside of England, that the Queen is the greatest person on the planet. They have a very distorted point of view, similar to Americans, but I would actually say not nearly as bad, because at least Americans are somewhat progressive, forward thinking, and that's just not how British people are. British people really have an issue with thinking forward. It's kind of sad. Speaking of that, there's an interesting video about a social system that they are testing in China that might import to NA. What? Import to NA using Riot and Blizz? What? Okay, if you're talking like a global social system, I guarantee you 2 game companies aren't changing the world. Like, that's just not happening in any capacity. Info gathered from Riot and Blizz. I call into question a lot of that stuff, man. Like, I know these games have like big breaches, but in the scope of the planet, man, the numbers are throwaway. Like, even say 10 million people are playing Overwatch. There's 7 billion people in the world. You're talking less than 1%. Like, that's how small 10 million people is. I don't know exactly what you're driving at, because I'm trying to base it off what you wrote. But if it's a social system, like for society, I'm going to put that over in the reserve, in the skeptical column for now, until proven otherwise. If I'm proven wrong, then hey, great, I'm wrong. But that's just, something that you should always be doing, is always be weary of what's being told to you. I'm trying to find the link. You should check it out. Yesterday was the 4th of July. Hope you guys had a good 4th of July. Apparently there's some online security thing. I haven't been able to read through the whole article yet, so we're not going to go through it. Way back. About 4 months ago? About 4 months ago, I talked about the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, and if Samsung was smart, they would scrap the phones and rebuild them into new phones, okay? And then we had the release of the Samsung Galaxy FE edition, which is in South Korea, and that's just refurbished Note 7s. But apparently, I was directly on the money, Because Samsung phones made from recycled Galaxy Note 7s parts are back on the market. And there you go. The Galaxy Note FE phone using unused parts from the recalled Note 7 smartphones will go on sale in South Korea on July 8th for 700,000 won or $833 New Zealand dollars, which is like, I think like $50 in a pack of smokes American dollars, or 3/4 of the original price. The company said the supply will be limited to 400,000 units and overseas sales plan to be determined later. The original Note 7 was one of the biggest black... Okay, yeah. So anyways. So they are doing exactly that. They're taking the units, the unused units, they're scrapping them out and re-putting them together with like a safer battery and shipping them out the door to South Korea as the FE edition or the Fire edition. That's interesting. Yeah, something like that, dude. You should always be skeptical, man. I'm telling you right now, no game company is so influential in the world that governments are gonna care what they think. That's just something to take with you through life. Intel is a company governments would listen to. Blizzard is not. Riot sure as hell not. But you know, Intel, since everyone uses a computer, they would be listening to Intel. Same with Nvidia, same with AMD for that matter. They care about people and their habits, not stupid games. Once again, you can only glean so much information from something like that. Like, I know it was the topic of dissertations or theses. I don't remember who was doing what, but like I know they use games to examine habits. Like they used World of Warcraft back in the Plague to examine epidemic behaviors. They're using Grand Theft Auto from Rockstar Games to model, or not model, but teach autonomous vehicles on how to do traffic patterns. I get they use games to model behaviors. I understand that. But at the same time, though, there's once again, you can only glean so much out of that. And typically, they wouldn't just be going to two companies. They'd be going to a lot of companies who do this. Like, you know, people like Sony or people like Blizzard, Sony, who else is there? Steam. Steam would be probably the person to go to if you want to model people behaviors based on how people spend and how economy is driven. Steam is almost like the model to look at for something like that. But I get it though. I totally get where you're coming from on this. And if you can find the article, link it. I'd be happy to take a look at it and see what's happening with it. Of course, they just mentioned some of the bigger ones. Yeah, exactly. So we have you know, rebuilt Samsung Galaxy Note 7s. It was a good phone. So good that a lot of people didn't return their phone when told to, not given the opportunity, but directly told, and even so much as firmware patched by Samsung. Most people liked the phone enough that they didn't return it. So it's clearly gonna sell, and you know what? Good on Samsung, man. Not only did you take one of the biggest flops, I guess I wouldn't really call it a flop, one of the biggest black eye disasters for a product launch in your history, and turn it into a positive. You're doing it for 75% of the original MSRP, which is bananas when you think about how much that phone costs to make. That phone costs like $150, maybe $200 to build, and they're still gonna sell it at $700 or $800. Oh my God, Samsung is a corporate genius, and easily something that companies and professors and, you know, masters and doctoral students, they are going to look at this case study of a disaster, of a PR nightmare, of an economic, you know, destructor, and they're going to build models around it of recovery, of recuperation. They are going to take this lesson learned, and I guarantee you a new small branch of almost everything you can imagine, PR, economics, finance, marketing, all of it. Every single field is about to get a little tiny branch, boop, popping out based around this scenario and how to turn a negative into a positive that yields a massive profit. Because anyone can turn a negative into a positive. It's not that hard. But to do so and get a profit, get people to pay money for it, that's something. I guarantee you that is something that I will not be surprised in 2 years from now if I start seeing dissertations pop up online based around this whole thing. Now, where is that? Okay. I'm trying to find an article because talking about papers and all that, this I had no idea about. Okay, this next article. I didn't have a clue this website existed. I'm a little annoyed I didn't know this website existed because God knows I would have been there like white on rice. Websites offering pirated white papers are shaking up science. Record companies and film studios have learned to live with the internet piracy. Despite the best attempts to close sites or co-opt them, pirated copies of the wares are easily and available. Increasingly, the same is true for scientific papers. On June 21st in New York, the court awarded Elsevier, a big scientific publisher, $15 million in damages for copyright infringements by Sci-Hub and Library of Genesis, two websites that offer tens of millions of scientific papers and books to anyone to download. Both the sites are increasingly popular with scientists who use them to dodge piracy or pricey paywalls and subscriptions. And Alexandra Something, who founded Sci-Hub in 2011, did not turn up to trial, nor did the people behind LibGen. But she did send a letter outlining her reasons for starting the site. While the University of Kazakhstan she needed access to hundreds of papers for her studies, but the only way to get them was to pay $32 per paper, which she describes as just insane. Having discovered academics using the internet to trade copies of papers you could pay for, she set up Sci-Hub to streamline the process. A website for scientific papers. I'm so jealous and I'm so mad at myself. I didn't know about this website. I will openly admit I would have been pirating the crap out of papers. I mean, I would have pirated so many. And I would have built my own bloody library based on the papers I took. But I didn't know about it. And I'm willing to bet you anything I probably came across not one, but both of those sites at some point, and they were probably so crappily set up, I thought they were scamware. Oh, so annoyed. I'm annoyed, and I hate myself ever so slightly that I didn't know that. But yeah, they shut down these sites, and it brings up a question of, is there a place for these kind of sites? Because $32 per paper is insane, and I think those are the best words to use. But if you've ever studied in the field of science at a university or anything, and you've done like actual science, not like liberal arts science or social science, I mean like chemistry kind of science, you've gone to these sites and you've looked at your papers and you see that subscriptions are $1,200 a year or a month or something like that. You look at them and it's like, yeah, that's not happening. I am not paying that kind of price tag for a paper. And I don't blame this girl at all. I think she's a hero. I think she's an absolute hero. And I'm sad that she lost her case, man. $15 million in damages. What do you do? How do you pay that? Unless she had like her own little subscription service set up. I don't know how she intends to pay it, but yeah. It's a whole article. I highly advise you guys read it. It's from The Economist. And yeah, both these websites were based in Russia and beyond the reach of the American court. Nonetheless, the American Chemical Society, which publishes several journals, announced on June 20th that it had launched a lawsuit of its own, provided that Miss Escobar does not travel to America. The lawsuit seems equally unlikely to succeed. Well, she was smart to at least set it up and be in a part of the world that no one cares about. Let's see. What else do we want here? This was talked by Philip DeFranco today. And this was something that really kind of took me aback when I read the article. And then I heard him talk about the article. And I'm still, in part of me, still trying to mentally process what happened. Now, we know that last Daily Chat, episode 98, we talked about the animated GIF that Trump tweeted out of somebody tracking a CNN logo over the face of Vince McMahon and Donald Trump pummeling what was symbolically CNN. He physically accosting them. And CNN went through and found the person who created the GIF of that, okay? And it turned into a whole thing. And let's just take a look at the article. So, CNN got accused of blackmailing a Reddit user over the Trump GIF. CNN has come under fire from Americans on the right of who they're accusing of the network of blackmailing a Reddit user allegedly for the Trump GIF, which the president posted on Twitter on Sunday. Holy shit, wake up and have morning coffee, and who retweets my crap post but the mega emperor himself. On Tuesday, Hannah Asshole Solo issued an apology on the history of posting racist and anti-Semitic comments that was unearthed. First of all, I'd like to apologize. Okay, he puts out this huge diatribe of apologies saying I was only trolling for the lulz, etc. CNN tracked down and contacted the man behind Han Solo, though agreed not to publish this information. He is a private citizen who has issued an extensive statement of apology, showed his remorse, and by saying he is taking down all of his offending posts, and because he said he is not going to repeat the ugly behavior on social media again. In addition to his statement, could serve as an example for others not to do the same. This added further spark that CNN blackmail social media reserves the right to publish his identity should any of that change. Right here. This is the part that everyone has an issue with. CNN reserves the right to publish his identity should, meaning post this apology, any of that change. Fired, the memes the internet fired back with our fire. Yep. So what does this say? In what's his name? Philip DeFranco put this in the best terms possible. As long as you agree to be a good boy, we will not publish your name. That was the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to the internet. Because, yes, that is blackmail. And of course, CNN, just like any company in the world would, defended themselves, saying, that's not what we meant. We've already talked to him. We've already agreed, etc., etc. All this stuff came out. But guess what? That's not what was said. It's too late to take it. If you're going to put a statement like that out, it doesn't just go through the editor or the president. You send it down to the goddamn mailroom and have the bag boy check it out and just get literally everyone's approval. Because this is how you get firestorms started around you and how you attract negative press. Amazingly enough, CNN, a press company, attracted negative press over their actions about something that was said. For an organization, once again, I don't care about Donald Trump. I don't care about CNN. Both people can get murdered in the streets for all I care. Doesn't bother me at all. But to not think something like that through, to think that you are so powerful, that you have the audacity to say something like, should he change his attitude, we reserve the right to make his life hell. You know what? From this article, I've heard reports that reporters have been doxxed, that, stuff is being sent over to houses. I've heard a lot of accusations. I can't prove any of them, but but I've heard about it. Even if the doxing part is true, I am fine with it. CNN at this point has started a war with too many different people. They've started a war with Trump, which is their own thing. You do what you have to. But they've started a war with the internet, which I hate to tell CNN this, but there's a lot more of us than there are of you. Like a lot more. Like 1,000 CNN's worth of people just roaming the internet looking for things to do. Okay? You really should have stayed in your lane and not said anything. You didn't have to go track this guy down. You didn't have to bother him. You didn't have to do anything. You chose to bring this battle onto yourselves because you grossly overestimated how powerful of an organization you are. Okay? This guy didn't have to apologize. All the anti-Semitic stuff and all the racist stuff he put it all on some subreddit that's meant to be that way. It's like the shock and awe subreddit or something. It's something where you're like, literally the rule of the subreddit is be as racist as you want, go nuts, have fun. Okay? But because CNN is pretty much filled with either old people, liberal arts people, non-technologically savvy people, women's studies majors, or just garbage individuals altogether, they obviously didn't know this because reading the subreddit would be too hard, like the rules of the subreddit, and instead just going through his history and cherry picking all of his comments. Now, he deleted his profile. Han asshole Solo or whatever the hell his name was, I don't care. He deleted his profile. And just like with major companies, I feel that was a mistake. I feel that he shouldn't have done that. He should have, you know what, once again, and he says he's a doctor. Believable enough, I'm a doctor, so, believable enough. But people are saying he's 15, CNN's saying he's not 15. We have no idea to prove that. If somebody wants to go look at this guy's information, go crazy. You come back and tell me what he is, and I'll report on it. But he shouldn't have bowed down to CNN. Him deleting his profile, him trying to mitigate the situation was a mistake all on its own. And he should have stood by what he did. Because if you're going to do it for the lulz, you stand by your lulz. You think I'll ever pull these episodes down? Not a chance. There's no way in hell I'll ever pull a Daily Chat episode down based on the opinions of someone else. I might pull it down for a different reason. Either, something went wrong with the video or there was an audio issue or something. But never will I pull it down based on someone's opinion. Those people can just go to hell. Mixer just went to shit, huh? Really, OSFX? Let's check out Mixer, man. What happened? Let's see here. So what's wrong with Mixer? Web show. Oh, hey, look at me. There I go. What's wrong with it? I'm not seeing anything wrong with Mixer right now. But that's just me. Look at their Twitter. Something happens. Give me 1 sec. Let me load up the Twitter. Let me load up the Twitter, bud. Something happened. Okay. We can only imagine this is probably not going to go well. Mixer. There we go. Provide support. Happy 4th of July. We are live. There's nothing here, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for, but there's nothing. Oh, watchmixer.com. Here we go. That's the wrong one. Okay, here we go. The satellite is now live. Starting lineup. I'm not seeing anything here that would lead me to believe. Look at the dude. Okay, you got to start linking me this, man. You're making me do too much work now for something that clearly doesn't show anything catastrophic happening. Link me whatever the tweet is that's like blowing up right now, because I clearly can't find it. But yeah, no, bowing down was a huge mistake. Never should have done. And CNN, honestly, I'm glad you guys are getting doxxed. And trust me, no lawyer here is going to make me take down my episodes. I don't care. So yeah, I'd like to know what you guys think about that one. I think CNN in this instance could very possibly have bit off way more than they can chew. Like, picking a battle with the internet is a pretty bad idea when you start going after just generic people. Because, see, here's the thing. The internet doesn't really get behind people who are big and famous. Because typically, big and famous people can afford lawyers and have resources and supports. Small, little independent guys like myself, they don't really have much. So when a company comes at people like that, you tend to really step in it because you get a lot more angry people on your side than you would have thought was gonna happen. But yeah, there's that. Whatever you guys think, I'd love to hear it. Now, let's get into the final story of today. This is, I'm not surprised that this is done. Maybe some people might be surprised. But researchers use the Kinect to scan a T-Rex skull. A system worth $150 of hardware offers an alternative to 3D scanners which cost 200 times as much. Daniel the boss, how you doing, man? Whatever Russian for hello is. I'm sorry, man, I don't know. Hi from the Ukraine. Hello! Last year, a team of forensic dentists got authorization to perform a 3D scan of a prized T-Rex head at the Museum of Natural History in Chicago in an effort to try and explain the strange holes in the jawbone. Upon discovering the high-resolution dental scanners couldn't handle the jaw as big as the Tyrannosaurus, they contacted the Camera Culture Group at MIT's Media Lab, which had recently made headlines for a prototype system of reproducing high-resolution 3D scans. The prototype wasn't ready for a job that big. However, the Camera Culture researchers used $150 in hardware with some free software to rig up a system that has since been reproduced 3D scans the entire 5-foot-long T-Rex skull. So, if you mention the name Kinect to anyone who plays video games, you're gonna hear, oh, never mind, just went back up. I'll show the pics of replies saying that it's not working. Okay, yeah. You'll see that the Kinect was a flop. The Kinect was a gigantic failure, and as a product, as an innovation, as an idea, it was just a disaster, okay? But if you talk to people who are in the maker space, people who inhabit proto spaces, hacker spaces, do-it-yourselfers, you'll actually hear the Kinect be talked about in an incredibly favorable light. Because the Kinect, with its dual cameras, with its depth sensing and all that, has been used for so many years in scanning items. We were doing it back when I was in Iowa. Back in 2013, a 17-year-old kid had rigged up a Kinect camera to actually do a scan. And it's really neat how they do this kind of stuff. Now, of course, old people would be fascinated by things like this. People like me, we look at it like that technology's been around for almost 5 years now. I don't know why the hell you're so impressed by it. But it's cool, though. And as a story of never look at anything as just what it is. Always try and see more of what you can do with it. And I think this is a prime example to kind of put people in that mindset of it was a failure as a game camera, but it's fantastic as a science research tool. And I guarantee you there's probably a closet somewhere at MIT stockpiled with Kinects. So there you guys go. Now, my Twitter is, I feel like I just tweeted you. Let's take a look. Let's see here. Hey, Aaron Walkwall, we're currently hit a snag, but our devs are working on it. Our devs are currently investigating what caused the bump in the rope. This isn't really like dramatic, we got hit by a Russian hacker group or anything. It was just like a very PR answer. There was really nothing there. Like, I thought it was like, a server farm crashed or something big happened. But like, based on something like that and the fact that when we went there was nothing wrong, I don't really know what to say, man. It's not that big a deal. But guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap up today's daily chat. Like I said, we already did GTA for today, so I'm just actually going to punch out for the evening. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, hit your subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitch or on Mixer, hit your follow buttons. Other than that, man, follow me on Twitter at LittleRex2015. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I've been Rex, and I will see all of you next time for episode
100.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.